Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Let's Talk Ghosts. And today, we're actually going to talk about something that we have typically avoided talking about. And this is a Ghost Adventures. We watched a brand new 1.5 hour documentary called Lake of Death, which is about Lake Mead. And we watched that today on Discovery Plus.
Yes.
Now, before we get started with that, I think we need to be patently clear on our feelings about Ghost Adventures. To be clear, I have huge respect for what Zach has done for the community of paranormal research. He's one of the trailblazers, truly.
Yeah.
And he is an incredibly smart businessman. You got to give him props for everything that he's done. He's making a killing doing what he loves, which is good. Now, we're not going to talk about all the controversy about Zach and previous people that he's worked with. I just don't want to go there, although we may end up, but I don't want to go there. The first few years of Ghost Adventures, I really enjoyed.
Yes. Yeah, he was, he put his heart and soul into it. Now it's his money.
It is all about, I believe it's all about money now, too.
Yeah.
He has taken, in my opinion, the fun, really, out of ghost hunting. He's looking for everything has got to be dark and demonic.
Yeah.
And more so in the last few years. Yeah. It's really gotten to that point where, if you're watching Ghost Adventures, you're hunting demons. And folks, I don't care if you are Ghost Adventures fans, Ghost Hunter fans, Destination Fear fans. I don't care. The point is there's not that many demons out there. Yeah. Like, really, honestly, the world would not be what it is today if there were that many demons loose in the world. Yeah. Come on. Yes, and I've said this before, there are bad spirits. There are bad ghosts. That doesn't make them demonic.
Yeah.
So, let's cut the crap and say it what it is. It's a negative thing. It doesn't have to be demonic. Yeah. Now, that being said, yes, we know that Lake Mead is drying up crazily. Yeah. And stuff's coming out. As things are drying up, they're finding things. Yeah. But to say, and I quote, "There is no denying this lake is cursed," unquote, is pure bullshit. Yeah. It is a lake. It is a huge waterway where it has been a recreational area for decades. Yeah. What happens with water? People are drinking, being stupid, and then they drown. Yeah. Or they get caught in seaweed or something or whatever, plant life, and they drown. Yeah. I was watching a show just yesterday when they were talking about a guy that got a great big cramp in his foot and he drowned. Yeah. So, it happens. Yeah. Just to say that, oh my God, it's demonic and if there's a curse, no.
Water cannot be evil.
No. No. It's a good conductor for paranormal stuff. But it is not evil.
But it's not evil. It's not good or bad.
No, it's just water.
It's water.
And the other thing is the amount of murders and things that they said went on in and around the lake. Well, duh. Look, the proximity to Las Vegas. Yeah. And decades ago, who ran Las Vegas? Yeah. The mob.
Oh, no, demons.
Demons masquerading as the mob? Oh, yeah. Well, sure, why not, So I think some of that is just trying to build up the hype. Yeah. This really could have been
a really good show.
It could, but yeah.
But, all this talk about, light anomalies and stuff, he's bugs.
I think he went off the deep end on this one. This could have been a really good paranormal investigation, and quite frankly, I didn't like it that much. No. I really didn't.
I was looking forward to it, because from the trailers, it looked good.
It did. Yeah. So in the very beginning, he's talking with this professor guy, and they're talking about how there's shapeshifters and skinwalkers around. because of the ancient Native American history.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe so. I have a hard time wrapping my head around skinwalkers, although I hear many things about them being, real, especially in Native American history. They believe it. So I don't know, but I don't believe that this is what's causing all the stuff that they're saying around it. But what I thought was funny, excuse me, each step you take as you're getting closer to the lake, the ground is getting softer.
Water.
You're getting close to the beach, yeah.
Shake.
I thought that was funny. Well, duh, of course it is. Yeah. And then he says, as people knew that they were coming out of the woodwork to tell them stories. Well, of course they are. Everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Really? So, yeah. And the other thing I found interesting, and I'd never heard this before, this area is known for satanic rituals on its shores and area. Yeah. Because?
Of Hoover Dam.
Hoover Dam apparently is in the shape of the devil's chair or throne, which I'd never heard that before either. And I have actually taken a tour of the Hoover Dam. And they've never mentioned anything demonic or anything.
They live in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And Billy and said,
they'd never heard that
before.
Never
heard of that before.
So, again, this is people that are coming out that want to be relevant and want to be on TV because they know they're going to get their little bit of an interview with Zach and, the superstar that he is. And they want to be on TV. Yeah. But, no one has ever commented that I've heard of that lake being demonic. Yeah. When I went to have my Hoover Dam tour, it was a bus tour, and that got us there. We went through Boulder City and a whole bunch of places, and then to the dam. And the bus driver was a fantastic tour guide. I mean, if he could have been the one to tour us through Hoover Dam, I would have loved it because he was amazing. All kinds of tidbits and info, and not once did he mention the devil, Satan, or demons. So, no. I think if there'd been something there, he would have said, stay away from the water because,
it's full of demons.
Yeah, it's full of demons, don't go there. But no, we didn't have that. So, lots of drownings and murders in the area. But, look at the area.
It's water.
It's water and Vegas where the mob bosses ruled. They didn't expect that the lake was going to start to dry up and all these bodies were going to start coming to the surface. Yeah. I mean, just like the body in the barrel.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they've just determined it was homicide. Really? I always jump into barrels and then dive into a lake just to see what's going to happen. Yeah. That's just the stupidest thing I ever heard. But that wasn't Zach saying that. That was that was a news clip or something, and I thought that was stupid. And so then again, they're out and about, and another comment he says is he can clearly hear a man screaming for his life. And
Coyotes?
It was a coyote. Yeah, coyote for some people. It clearly was. If anybody's lived out in the rural area and you know that sound,
I hear dead people screaming all the time.
Every time he said he heard somebody screaming, my brain is going, that's not a person screaming, that's a coyote. I know what they sound like. Yeah.
It's I hear them every night.
It is the craziest thing. I get that he's from the city and he doesn't hear those things all the time. But dude, if you're going out in a rural area like that, take somebody with you who knows what they're doing. Not just a bunch of city folks who know nothing. Yeah. So the next one I wanted to comment was, instead of taking the SLS this time, now he's taken this much upgraded machinery called a LiDAR, which is actually, I've seen it used many times, and it's amazing for mapping out terrain and things, especially for archaeological digs and stuff. It's just incredible. So they're using it as a SLS kind of thing. And he's seeing some figure being mapped on the side of the tunnel wall. And he says it turns around like it's getting ready to attack with its arms back. I've never seen an animal put his arms back in the air when it's getting ready to attack, for one thing. Yeah. And secondly, after seeing that same kind of thing that Dalen Spratt was using in the cemetery, and how it maps on everything.
Yeah. And it shows figures that aren't there. Like, clearly aren't there.
So, because this tunnel was dark, we couldn't see what it was mapping against.
Yeah.
So I have doubts whether that was real, whether whatever it was mapping, was it real? So our philosophy is, when in doubt, throw it out.
Yeah.
If I had been my investigation, I would have gone back the next day, in the daytime, and seen some of that. I think this was a foolish investigation to do at night, and we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. But yeah, I don't trust the SLS mapping anymore without being able to see what it's mapping against. I just don't believe it. So yeah, he was saying that they were going to head out to Devil's Cove, and the reason that it's called Devil's Cove is because the shape of the water looks like the devil. Which I thought was a reach too. But I mean, they call it Devil's Cove for a reason. Because the top is supposed to look like it has horns or something. It's a bunch of bunk, but... But there's a reason they call it that. But, Zach's got to play on that and map a picture of a sort of a devilish demon thing with horns into the lake area. Is just dumb. And then again, there were more screams. Oh my gosh, more screams! Which was like a cacophony of coyotes.
Yeah.
So, at this one point now, Jay... Was it Jay?
Yeah.
Jay and Aaron were supposed to go up to Devil's Cove.
Yeah.
To investigate, and they were going to take a helicopter up there, but for some reason they weren't able to. I think they said something about there was no safe place to land, and I don't understand how they wouldn't have known that ahead of time. You'd think the helicopter company would have told them ahead of time that it wasn't going to be
good TV though.
Yeah, it's good TV to go, oh, why we suddenly can't take it. I would think the company should have told them when they were trying to book it. Sorry, we can't go up there. There's no place to land that's safe.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Especially at night.
At night, yeah. Jesus Christ.
In the daytime, you probably could have got a lift up there.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. So instead, Jay and Aaron decide they're going to hike up to there at night in the dark in the wilderness.
Yeah.
So they're out there hiking through area that they don't know with flashlights, and they're stepping in things. They say there's snake holes or fox holes and stuff.
Both.
Basically, they have to bushwhack through this area. How frickin' safe is that?
Girl.
And their camera producer, their photography producer. Really? Use your goddamn brains, guys. It's dangerous. I mean, not just because you think you might see ghosts and demons, but you're in the woods where you can't see the dangers.
And there's rattlesnakes there.
Well, and they are, because they're out there where it's cool now. They don't have to be hiding in the under things. But I mean, it's a mining area, so there might be little mine shafts and things. You could step right in, break your fucking break your break your leg, break your neck. I mean, oh my God, it's just, that is the most ridiculous thing I saw. And they got lost.
Yeah.
It was in the dark. They got lost. They couldn't find their way.
Aaron got mad at Jay because he figures it was Jay's idea.
Well,
and they're both
at fault. They were both going, and trying to find your way in the dark with a flashlight. To me, that was just the most unsafe thing. I
forget her name,
Lauren.
But Lauren turns around and says, there's no trail back there.
Yeah.
Maybe we should stop. That's when they should have said, oh, okay, turn around and get up the
obviously they're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
But no, let's just keep going and get further and further lost.
Yeah.
Ugh. I just thought that was stupid.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then to try to say, that they're doing an investigation. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're bushwhacking through the dark, through the woods, where you don't know where you are, and you're risking your lives. Because you don't know what could have happened. I mean, and they could have easily stepped in a fox or a snake hole and had the snake come up and bite them.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, use your heads, dudes.
Or start a little fox in it.
Anything, The fox.
Get bit.
Yeah, fox can be kind of vicious.
Yeah, they are.
They can be kind of vicious. Yeah, and then and coyotes. I mean, they do hunt in packs.
Yeah.
And if they're hungry, they'll attack a human. Yeah. They don't tend to. Usually they run the other way, but they can. Yeah. They can if they're hungry enough. So one of the comments that I think it was Aaron said was, it was straight out of Indiana Jones. You know, all the holes and things in the ground. Like, really, dudes. Dude. I just thought it was dumb. Anyway, the next thing that we saw was we were flashed back to Zach and Billy, and I thought this was kind of interesting. Billy was in a circle where he made that safe circle.
That was Jay.
No, Jay was with Aaron.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but Jay did this circle.
This was Jay?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't tell because it's dark.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he did this circle, and he's going to do I guess it's a salt circle, so he's inside it, and he's going to do some sort of a ritual thingy. And they're showing on the LiDAR, and that was kind of interesting, this big kind of black, I wouldn't call it a mass, because you don't really know what it was, but it seemed like ebb and flow like waves, and it would come close, but it never crossed the circle. It never came into that circle. And then it would go back around and come back in. It was almost like he's on the edge of the water, and it was the water. But I mean, maybe they were, because he talked about that guy. There was some fella who lived on the edge of the lake, and I think he was practicing satanic rituals or whatever.
Well, they went into his little hut. He had all these strange markings and scrolls and stuff. But didn't they eventually, they had to kill him or something? They killed him because he was trying to kill.
He was trying to kill someone,
somebody else.
But it was really quite. That was interesting to see that kind of ebb and flow, and it does make me wonder how close to the water were they, because it's dark, you couldn't really see anything.
And the blue blob.
Oh, that blue blob. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can see the head.
It looks like it's somebody sitting cross-legged. No, it didn't.
Like a bean.
It looked like one of those pod beans, those like moon pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a blue anomaly on the screen. You can't. To me, it did not look like somebody sitting cross-legged with their head and their eyes. No, guys, quit trying to reach. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing that they do. They do so much reaching that it annoys me. But
in house calls, when Aaron's running the show, it's a good thing.
He's a very good investigator. Yeah. I think he could be a lead investigator if he truly wanted to, but I don't think he'll ever leave Zach.
Yeah.
They're obviously good friends, even though I don't think Zach treats him very well.
Yeah.
But that's his money ticket,
Yeah. Well,
he makes his living there.
Yeah.
But I think he's very good, and I really hope we see some more house calls. I really like those. I really like getting back to the basics
I really like less Zach Biggin.
Yeah, because everything, it doesn't have to be demonic when he's not around. It doesn't have to be, so it's good. But I like getting back to the basics of helping people.
Yeah.
And that's what, initially they wanted to do.
That's what we do.
Yeah, and I think that's what the ghost hunters are back to doing too, and I really like that. But Ghost Adventures has always been about hunting for the dark and scary stuff, because that's what their viewers want to see. So whether it's demonic or not, it's got to be scary. It's got to be dark.
If it's a bad person, bad person in death.
Yep. If they're bad in life, they're bad in death. There's no round. That doesn't make them a demon.
No.
Anyway, carrying on, we have Zach and Billy now going into the tunnels for exploring. And the one that I thought this is towards the end, they're doing some experiment with audio tones, and they're changing the tone, so they're at 33 megahertz or something, and they keep dropping it down. Now you can't hear it anymore at 33, but apparently it's still sounding, so something could hear it, like dogs could probably hear it, stuff like that. And suddenly Zach is in the tunnel, and he says he picks up a very quick spike of EMF that goes up to 13 and then suddenly drops. Now, if anybody has handled EMF before, you know that you can get those unexplained spikes. It doesn't mean anything when it goes up and it goes down real fast. It's just something that happens with the machine. It doesn't mean anything unless it's sustained more than a couple of seconds. Yeah. And this doesn't. But suddenly it goes up and Zach suddenly feels like something has hit him in the gut or in the chest, and now he can't breathe.
Yeah. Panic attack.
I think so. I think they had built themselves up to being scared going into this deep, dark tunnel by themselves. I think he worked himself up into a panic attack. But, it's got to be...
he's got to be a demon.
It's got to be something bad.
Yeah.
So the thing that I notice about those two, Billy and Zach, is they wind themselves up. Yeah. And, well, they all do. They all feed off each other and wind each other up. But I think Zach knows how to wind Billy up.
Oh, yeah.
He really, really does. He plays on Billy's empathic features, because I think he is a bit of an empath. I think he does feel stuff. So I think he knows how to do that. And at one point with this investigation, Billy seems to lose it a little bit, and he's kind of like, ooh, what's going on?
Yeah.
And,
well, it creates EMF. Like, you can't hear it, but you can feel it.
Yeah, because they've got the equipment on that's now making things spike up.
It's, so he loses it because he feels all this stuff, and it's fucking with his equilibrium.
It's screwing with his equilibrium?
Whatever.
Okay, we'll just have to put a disclaimer that this one's got language in it. But yeah, he's really quite just confused, I guess is the best word. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. He seems to come around after he turns off the thing.
Before that, he asked Zach, "Are we done?"
Yeah, but he had turned it off first.
No, he didn't. He didn't turn it off. It was still going.
Oh, was it still going?
Yeah. And he goes, "Are we done?"
And Zach doesn't answer.
And he doesn't answer.
Yeah, he just kind of stays and lets Billy continue. Yeah. And now Billy's winding up because he's scared. He doesn't know what's going on, and Zach's not answering him.
So he says, "Are we done?"
And finally Zach says, "I'm extremely concerned for Billy's safety and my own."
Yeah, because he
did it.
He did it to himself.
And then Billy says, "You gave it permission to use us, to enter our core, you said." Yeah. And Zach doesn't comment at all. He says nothing. He doesn't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
He just says he's panicking. You're panicking.
Yeah. And then he's whispering.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're having a
panic attack, yeah."
And he goes, and Billy's not saying anything back because he's
probably mad at that point, I'm thinking.
But he got mad. And he goes, calm down. Well, if you ignored me like that.
And here he made a valid comment saying, you did this.
Yeah.
You're making us do this by giving it permission.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then there was all the little light anomalies. Like there's one that you said that you noticed at the very end.
The bug going.
It was a light that went shooting from the top of the tunnel right down towards the flashlight. Now, what does that?
Yeah.
It's probably a moth or something. Like really, I don't put a lot of stock in these light anomalies that they say. A lot of times they are bugs. And if they don't want to, debunk that because they need evidence to show their viewers, whatever. But in my opinion, that one especially was obvious to me because it was flying to the light.
Yeah.
And the one that was flying around and zipped into his body, no, that was another bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have, like I said, huge respect for Zach and his knowledge. He knows his stuff. But I think he manipulates it now to please his base of followers.
Yeah.
And the other fellas with him, they go along with it because it's their job.
Yeah.
They know. They know what.
Book the boss.
Well, you can if you want to be out. I mean, we've seen a few people leave Ghost Adventures because they didn't agree with the boss.
Yeah.
So it's really unfortunate. But, this really could have been such a good investigation if they actually stuck to the lake like it seemed like they were going to do. Yeah. But I thought they veered off into the tunnels and all this stuff. Like,
maybe
really.
Amy Scripton could do it. Somebody else
maybe somebody who actually wants to investigate the deaths along the lake. Would be good, because that's what I thought we were going to get. I thought we were investigating Lake Mead, not the tunnels from the Hoover Dam or bushwhacking through the woods. I wanted to see, having them investigate on the spot where that barrel with the body in it was. Maybe they could try to reach out, that kind of stuff.
He never did that.
No, not a bit of that. Not a bit of investigating along the edge of the lake.
And it's all,
Yeah. So guys, unless you're a diehard Ghost Adventure fan, I'd pass this one up unless you really don't really care for actual investigating. If you're in it more for the personalities, by all means, give it a listen. But if you actually want a good investigation of Lake Mead, this is not it. Yeah, it's too bad because, like I said, I do respect them immensely, but this wasn't an investigation.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Anyway, that is our episode for today. Feel free to comment. I know it's not going to be a popular opinion with some, but it is our opinion, and we hope you have.
You are allowed our opinion.
We do have them. Have yourselves a good evening. Enjoy a nice hot cup of something or a nice cold of something.
Good night.
Good night. Happy haunting. Bye now.